And we are back with more ranking of Doctor Who episodes. We're jumping into the 12th Doctor era, which is also run by Moffat, but feels like a distinctly separate show than the Matt Smith era. And I feel like it's like really, honestly, props to Moffat for creating a completely different feel and vibe between his like, two eras in a way. Even though, like, Clara is a carrying over character, and there's so many more carrying over. It just feels like distinctly different eras, and I really think that's really well done, actually. But anyway, the 12th Doctor is very interesting for me in that, like, I love the 12th Doctor. I think Peter Capaldi is, like, he creates such a unique Doctor that I think is, like, so different from the rest of the Doctors, but so quintessentially the Doctor. It's really good. It's really fucking good. And like, but a lot of the individual stories themselves I don't necessarily love or resonate with too much. So it's a very conflicting era for me, honestly. But anyway, we'll start with the premiere. Deep breath. Mid-tier, general run-of-the-mill mid-tier premiere episode. Yeah, Patrick Gang is fun. Into the Dalek. Could not tell you a single. I'm going to put in low tier just because I could not tell you a single thing that happened in that episode. And if I watched an episode twice and I still couldn't tell you a single thing that happens in it, that shows the quality of the episode. Robot just Sherwood, shit tier. I don't remember having anything good to say about this episode. Listen, awesome, incredible episode, really cool sci-fi concepts. Definitely goes to high tier for me. I think it was trying very hard to be another. Another Midnight, or like another Blink, or like, you know, one of those one word episodes that like really stick, like transcend Doctor Who and become like a really great sci-fi story. And I think it doesn't necessarily beat that. It doesn't necessarily meet those heights, but it was still a really, really good episode. High tier. The Caretaker, couldn't tell you a single thing that happens in it. Low tier. I think it would be in shit tier if it was like offensively bad, but it's definitely not offensively bad. Same with Mummy on the Orient Spit. Kill the Moon is terrible. Kill the Moon is one of the worst episodes of the show, and so many people have said why. It really mischaracterizes the Doctor, and really contradicts his character. The Moon being a dragon egg. Stupid shit. It's taking place so close to modern time, being taking place in 2050 and having like crazy sci-fi concepts in it. It really doesn't work at all. It's shit tier. Time Heist, you son of a bitch, I'm in. That's the episode. Low tier. I don't remember anything really positive about this. Flatline, I remember being good. I remember this being a good one. Can I say I remember much about it? Not really. But I remember being a good solid episode. It had the awesome imagery of the tiny TARDIS with the Doctor inside. I'm gonna put it in mid tier. You know, I think that's fair. Into the Forest of the Night, shit tier. Really bad episode. That should not have made the cut. This should not have made the season. Anyway, Dark Water, Death in Heaven introduces Missy had been appearing throughout the seasons, but returning the Master in a very fresh new format. And the Master had been missing for quite a while, had not been appearing at all in Matt Smith's era. So it was really, really good to have the character back in a fresh, unique way. And this episode is weird, has a lot of issues. All the stuff with Danny Pink is weird, but like the fake heaven too. It has a lot of weird issues, but overall, still very solid, I would say. I would put in high tier. Last Christmas. This is a fucking terrible episode. If they're not gonna get rid of Clara, like, this was like a setup to get rid of Clara, and they didn't do it. Like, what was the point of this episode? It was really bad. Yeah, Magician's Apprentice, The Witch is Familiar, really, really cool, quintessential 12th Doctor story. Going the first time we go to Skaro in the modern series, which is like really cool and well done, and I love this two-parter. I think it's a really good, like, heavy start to season 9. I remember watching it, the whole thing with Davros, like, best Davros story for sure. And it's like these two, like the part where they're like talking and like they kind of laugh with each other for a little bit. It's like shows like the Doctor and Master are like, soulmates separated by like intense like different difference and intense different goals, but like the Doctor and Davros, like when you can just the where you could sit back and laugh with someone who has given like so much shit in your life, and that's such an iconic image to me. I'm gonna put it in high tier. Under Lake Before the Flood, very unmemorable episode. Really bad. not shit, but like low, like textbook low tier episode. This is a two-parter. I don't know why it's separated. Like I guess it's up to interpretation of whether it's a two-parter, but I will rank them together. Ashildr, kind of annoying character. Kind of don't like her. I understand the point of the character. It's definitely like one of those situations, like similar to Christmas Carol. Where did I rank that? High tier. Where like the Doctor trying to do good, complete like does more harm than good without them realizing, and it's like an exploration of like, sometimes there's consequences that you don't foresee to your actions, and I think it's like well done in that, but there's just so much shitty cheesiness like wrapped around that concept. So like, for like a very interesting, important concept, I think it's just wrapped with like in like a, it's like you're eating a burrito and it has like really good fresh filling, and it has like fresh guacamole, fresh rice and bean, like just really, really good interior. But let's say the tortilla was like covered in mold and you have to eat it. Like that's what this episode feels like. This story feels like. Like that's my analogy. Zygon Invasion and Version, a lot of great moments, but a lot of slow, boring moments as well. It was a really cool idea to take like textbook cheesy villain and make a very serious dark story about them. I do like that a lot, but overall it was like, for all the good that it does do, it's just very boring. I'm gonna put in low tier, honestly. Sleep No More, I don't remember what happens in this episode, even though I watched it twice, so I think it's shit tier, honestly. Oh, this is the one that was trying to be found footage? Yeah, it's bad. Phase 3... See, I would consider this a three-parter. I would not separate these out. I think this is a three-part story. And I think... I want to separate Face the Raven. I want to separate Face the Raven because it's a lot weaker than the other two. No, it's a trilogy. No, but fuck. I'm cheating and I'm separating Face the Raven because I think it's a weird start, and it's a cool concept of like a little like secret Diagon Alley village of like aliens living in London. I think it's a cool concept, bringing back Ashildr into the story. Getting rid of Clara, starting to get rid of Clara, which kind of spreads out into the next two episodes. But it's, I don't know. I just remember it being kind of rough to sit through, like pretty boring and cheesy and annoying to watch. So I'm gonna put that part in low tier. But the next two parts, because they're separated out, I get to cheat like this. I'm going to say, and I'm keeping them together, because like as much issues as Hellbent does have, and Hellbent does have a lot of issues, I think it is necessary. Like, as in like Heaven Sent is probably like on a technical level, and a lot of people praise the hell out of this episode and agree with me. I think it's technical. Like, if I had to purely say the technical best episode of Doctor Who ever, I would say Heaven Sent. It's like definitely that technical, like, oh, this is one of the greatest sci-fi, not necessarily sci-fi pieces, but one of the greatest Doctor Who story ever written, probably. But the thing it is part one of a two-parter, and the second part isn't as good. I will say that, but like but it's still, the second part of it is still very good, despite its issues. It has like heartbreaking moments, and like is really powerful in itself. And like I think coupling that, like what would have been like probably a mid to low high tier episode in Hell Bends, with probably the greatest episode of the show, on a technical level. Like, it puts the duology into God tier. Some people would argue that Face the Raven is part of that, making it a three-parter, like Utopia, that whole trilogy from season 3. But I'm going to separate it for the sake of this conversation, because why not? Husband's a River Song, shit. Has some good moments, but I just think it's bad. Return of Dr. Mysterio, fun episode. I would say I would put it like with, like, you know, the Lodger on Closing Time. It feels to have that vibe. You know, I would put it like in that level of kind of fun. The pilot, I remember this being good. Don't remember much of it, though. I'm gonna put it in mid tier. I think it's like a perfectly serviceable start to the season at New Companion, which Bill Potts, which is awesome companion. It's so sad she only got one season, because she was fucking great. Smile, I remember this being fun, but I couldn't tell you like much about it. So I'm gonna say mid tier. I remember enjoying it, but like, you know, was it amazing? No. Thin Ice, I remember thinking this was pretty bad, but not like terrible, just like kind of boring. Knock Knock, I remember being very fun. I remember like being a fun dynamic that like the Doctor kind of intervening on Bill Potts' like new life. Bill Potts trying to form a new life with new roommates, and he's like intervening, pretending to be like her kooky grandpa. I remember it being a fun episode. Was it like, I would put it in mid tier. I think it was fun. Oxygen, I would consider this like a 4-part, honestly. I think Oxygen, Extremist, Pyramid, the Underworld, and Lie of the Land is something I would have said was really good at the time, but the more I reflect on it, like, it's so unmemorable and so slow. To make this a 3, potentially 4-part story, it should have been 2 at the absolute most, and it could have been 2 at the absolute most if it was cleaned up. It needed to be cleaned up and sped up a bit. It was just so fucking slow and boring, and so I'm gonna put it in low tier as a 4-part story, honestly. The concepts are really cool, really fucking cool. Like the concept of like an alien race coming in and like brainwashing humanity into thinking, no, we were always there, we were always helping your species, we were always around, you know, and like gaslighting humanity into thinking. A really cool concept, just executed very slowly. Empress of Mars, completely forgettable. Could not, and Eaters of Light as well. I could not tell you really what happened in either of the episodes just by watching it. World Enough in Time and Doctor Falls, high tier. Really, really cool concepts here. Spaceship that is so big that it has a whole like kind of like world in it where the Cybermen were able to develop and take over like within the context of this one spaceship. Cool concept. The whole like idea of like 2 iterations of the Master coming together, really cool. And I think it was really well done to show the contrast between John Sims' Master and Missy, in that like Missy's had character development, you know, like just the way we think the Master had character development, and like really yeah, I'm gonna like just really cool to show the contrast of like, hey, this is what I used to be like, and this is what I am now. And like, you think I'm the same person, but you can show there was development there. And like, and the whole thing where it's like the 12th Doctor trying to appeal to like, you know, essentially two iterations of like, you know, like former like best friend, potential soulmate, and just being like, listen, like, work with me here, please. Like, I know we have irreparable differences now, but like, work with me, please. And like the real pleading you see in the 12th Doctor's performance, it is so good. Yeah, really, really strong season finale. Twice Upon a Time, also high tier. I think really great closing story for the 12th Doctor, and to have the 12th Doctor and the first Doctor be partnered up was a really unique idea. And I think if any Doctor was to be partnered up with the first Doctor for a story, I think it was very smart to do the 12th Doctor. I think it just worked very well, because the 12th Doctor was a very retrospective Doctor in that like he was very much like very heavily, big parts of his arc were like, am I actually a good person? Should I really be doing this? Like, is it like am I doing like the right thing in the universe? Like, and like to really bring him back to his roots and show how far he's come and show that he really is a good person, like through the lens of his former self. It's a really perfect complement to World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls, and where the Master was going through that arc. Now you have it's the Doctor doing that same retrospective by comparing an old version to their new version, and yeah, very well done. Okay, for the last part, we will be getting into the 13th Doctor era and the recent specials, so I will save that, and I will see you guys next time for the final part of this ranking video.